significant is the fact that this is also an economic squeeze. About 80% of the export finances that Maduro uses, and I say oil shipments through these, as Lucas was saying, these dark fleet ships. And I'll talk.
So can you kind of break that down?
Around the world, these are ships. Tanker right now, it's a pursuit. It won't get away. A tanker is not going to be able to outrun any U.S. naval vessel. So we'll get the tanker, we'll take it down. That'll just add to the evidence that we're collecting about the ghost fleet, about the illegal oil shipments that they're doing. But let's watch and see how Maduro reacts. You hear it in Congress, you hear it on the streets of America about the legal standing that the Trump administration has. Now, I'm not a lawyer. But I just want to address that this actually goes back to 2007 under President Hugo Chavez. Back at that time, they seized American national companies' assets in Venezuela under contract to try to help the Venezuelans improve their oil industry. They've got a large capacity for oil in Venezuela. So the American companies were in there. Hugo Chavez decided to seize that and stole it. And it's been proven out in international court to the tens of billions of dollars that Venezuela has stolen from the U.S. companies, and that it owes. Now, obviously, we haven't seen a dime of that. Then you fast forward to additional sanctions in 2019, and you look in 2024, and you go back that Maduro is not recognized legal leader of Venezuela. He literally stole the elections. I would call him a dictator at this time. So they've developed this in addition to some of the terrorist designations that they put on Maduro and his close allies and the drug cartels. So they kind of built this legal case with precedent and some solid historic foundation that they've looked at. And I think that kind of helps set the basis if you understand what follow-on military actions we're trying to accomplish and removing Maduro. But you're going to have to now go after his money and maybe hope to find a crack in that inner security, somebody else that's in that power circle he's got, and maybe through some covert operation or influence, really start to take them out and create that crack in that inner security. That's going to move him. Now, there could be, based on this additional pressure, some back channel talks that are likely still happening that Maduro does agree, hey, I'll go in exile, let me keep all my money, and I'll go in exile in Iran, Russia, China, Cuba, wherever it may be. I think what we want to watch is this. So what you're going to have to find is go after him financially. You're going to have to really go after him. He's already turned down the ability. We've offered him safe pass. So what you're going to have to find is go after him financially. You're going to have to really go after him. He's already turned down. We were trying to remove Maduro. It was all about stopping the drug flow of illegal drugs into the United States, which is actually a critical mission that needs to happen because the amount of drugs coming out of Venezuela, Colombia, used Venezuelan naval assets to do that. Now, that's the problem is that would complicate the U.S., what we call vessel board search and seizure. That's what the military operations are called that we're doing. So it would complicate that. It wouldn't stop it, but that would risk a issue of possible confrontation on the high seas. So that could ratchet it up. It could show another level of defiance, but that would probably be the likely next response that Venezuela could use. So say from Iran, from Russia, from Venezuela, over to countries like China or where other countries don't necessarily want to get involved necessarily, so they're trying to hide the registry of these ships and move oil, which is sold at a much reduced price. Maritime tracking